Most of us go into parenting anticipating a fairly predictable system. You set boundaries, you apply consistent, loving discipline, and over time, you get a recognizable result. Action leads to a predictable outcome. You expect the standard milestones: learning to follow the rules, playing soccer without causing chaos, visiting a busy parade safely, and bringing friends home. This flowchart represents the standard parenting equation, which assumes a straight line from discipline to good behavior. But for a growing demographic of parents raising children with complex neurological differences, diagnoses like ADHD, autism, or oppositional defiant disorder, that predictable line breaks apart. In these households, the conventional tools of parenting don't simply miss the mark. Applying standard discipline actively backfires, escalating a manageable moment into total chaos. These parents navigate an intense, high-stakes daily reality with a playbook that has been entirely thrown out the window, all while enduring the heavy, silent judgment of a society that watches from the outside and assumes they are simply failing to control their child. When the standard rules are applied to a special needs child, the basic mechanics of consequence fall apart. Timeouts are ignored. Taking away privileges yields zero behavioral correction. Physical or restrictive punishments like spanking only exacerbate the situation, triggering deeper, more aggressive defiance. Even the positive side of the equation is completely broken. Standard reward systems and sticker charts fail to generate any lasting improvement. This diagram illustrates the core neurological mismatch driving the failure. A typical brain filters environmental inputs, like the noise and crowds at an amusement park, smoothly, but an impaired filter bottlenecks. The brain processes that noise as an overwhelming physical threat. What looks like a willful public meltdown is actually a nervous system collapsing under the weight of its environment. Without the standard strategies to rely on, parents are forced into a new, mandatory approach: relentless, exhausting trial and error. They are constantly testing an overwhelming number of variables to find stability. Does this new diet change behavior? Is this specific supplement working? Will occupational therapy make an impact? Do we need to medicate them? Parenting in these homes is no longer a set of established rules. It becomes an endless, highly stressful, and totally unproven scientific experiment, conducted daily on the fly. This reality creates a profound social isolation. There is a deep, agonizing yearning for normalcy. But playdates are canceled, and you realize you cannot trust your child around others without risking destruction in their wake. Then there is the sheer logistical mountain to climb. The countless appointments to doctors, counselors, and specialists drain financial resources and completely deplete a parent's mental bandwidth. The collateral damage spills into the rest of the family structure. The constant stress sparks intense marital fights, and parents live in a perpetual state of anxiety, constantly questioning if they are too strict, not strict enough, and if they are doing everything they can. This leads to the most deeply hidden, taboo psychological burden of all: the crushing guilt a parent feels when they look at the grueling daily behavior and realize they occasionally dislike their own flesh and blood. It produces a quiet, exhausting fantasy of simply fleeing. They know they never would actually leave, but the desire to escape the daily grind marinates inside them. Special needs parenting is a double burden: the management of the child and the internal survival of the parent. Eventually, the parent arrives at a difficult realization. They understand that they cannot simply fix the child to fit neatly into a standard societal mold. When the struggle to change the child repeatedly fails, the pressure doesn't disappear. It redirects. It begins to reshape the parent. The child's struggles act as a tool of refinement, forcing an evolution in the person raising them, because the old assumptions about how a family should function have been burned away. In this environment, love ceases to be a passive, natural feeling. It becomes a relentless, active daily choice. It is a persistent decision to push forward, no matter the resistance. This choice requires immense conscious effort. It is the raw determination to show up every single day. It means actively choosing kindness when your body is filled with anger, and actively choosing joy when you are feeling utterly defeated. Which brings us back to those crowds at the grocery store or the parade. The embarrassing public meltdowns and the harsh stares of disapproval from strangers looking on. Those public meltdowns are not evidence of a broken playbook or a lack of discipline. They are the visible front lines of an invisible, agonizing battle fought by parents who refuse to surrender, fueled by an incomprehensible level of daily, chosen love.